It's after midnight, and it's time for conversations about love, family, friends, sex, and life. It's Love and Life with Carol Riddick and Donavan West, only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family, and welcome to yet another edition of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. Well, I am happy to be here with you, but I must say, I'm bringing love tonight from my co-host, Donavan. He's had some things to take care of, and he couldn't be with us today. So he sends all of his love, as you know he does. And he had to, you know how he does me. You know what he does. You know how he does, family. Because you always send me emails, sending me extra love, because you know how he treats me. But in any event, it's all in love. But he says hello, he's sending his love and all that good stuff. I want to say thank you for joining us, as you all always do. We love that you spend your time, your energy, and your attention with us because, you could do other things, but you choose to hang out with us. So listen, I'm not going to talk too much at the beginning of this show because I want you to meet our guests. We have a beautiful and lovely power couple with us tonight. When I tell you, didn't I just say I wasn't going to talk a lot? So that's what I'm not going to do. Okay, I'm not going to talk a lot. I'm just going to bring them on in so that we can talk with them. Family, please show some love to tonight's guests, none other than Jay Ivy and Tarrey Torrae. I have to work on that. I got to work on that.
Hand claps.
I keep telling Donovan, I said, we got to get some sound effects or something. I don't know.
Come with the Arsenio Hall sound.
Right. When you're dating us, we were all remembering Arsenio. You're dating us.
Hey. I saw him on YouTube.
That's what it was. Everything's on YouTube, right? First of all, because I didn't even say to you, thank you for joining us. I mean, family, you don't know, but I kept saying, okay, we have to have them. We have to have them as guests. I want to talk with them. So I'm so glad. And Donovan, he's glad too. He kept saying, tell them, just let them know. I wish I could be there, but that's my best Donovan voice. That's all I got.
I used to do shoulders like this too.
Right? You saw me.
I feel him.
You feel him. You saw me. I was trying.
Yeah.
But in any event, I know you all have so much going on, and I want our family members who are unfamiliar to know just who you are and what you do. Well, we both want them to know. And I'm on 10, as you can tell. I can't get my words together because I'm so excited that you're here. But please tell us individually from where you come, who you are.
Yes.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. I am TARREY TORRAE. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I am born and raised in a family full of folk from Mississippi. But I have a lot of Mississippi in me, but I'm still a Chicago girl, born and raised. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm the lead singer for Slick Rick the Ruler's tour. Been on tour with him for the last 10 years. Yes. Very iconic Slick Rick the Ruler.
Yes.
I am also this guy he's a very, very, very popular poet. His name is Jay Ivy. And I also do vocals for him as well. And I get to write songs with him as well and build business. And a quick fact about me, I'm a 6-time Apollo winner. I'm also known for some work that I've done with both Kanye West and John Legend. I'm on Grammy-nominated albums with them. And I have a couple of gold albums out there, Grammy winning, right?
Hello. I was going to go back to that because I was going to make sure they knew. Okay.
John Legend and Kanye West albums were all Grammy winning. But my vocals and some of my writing can be heard on both of those projects. I tour as a solo artist as well. So I have a project out called Catching Feelings, and I am out here doing my thing. That's about it.
I love it. She said that's about it. Did you hear that?
That's-
That's about it.
yeah. So my name is Jay Ivy. I'm a poet from Chicago, born and raised on the South Side and the South suburbs of the Chi. This fine young thing right here is my sweetheart.
I love it.
We went to the same preschool.
At different times. Pretty Ricky was my boyfriend in preschool.
Pretty Ricky.
Shut up.
Pretty Ricky.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Ricky's trying to take my building block.
Listen, I see. But you shut him down. You shut him down.
Yeah, so poet, member of the academy. We both are currently a trustee. I have several albums out, books out. I have an album coming out on September 30th called The Poet Who Sat by the Dough. And I would love for y'all to check that out. Got the first single is coming out this Friday, which is called Running, featuring John Legend, Slick Rick the Ruler, and Verse. So y'all be that. But I'll go back to the Deaf Poetry days, college dropout, and all that good stuff. And yeah, we here.
All this juicy information. Family, you hear this. I know you missed a little bit of it. I know you did, because there was so much to hear. I love all of it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I will say one thing I want to say. You said your family, your roots, you have some family roots in Mississippi. When I first met you, it was the funniest thing. I said, oh, she's so sweet. The first thing I thought of, because I thought of my family members from down the South. The first, when I met you, I was like, oh, I know I hugged you because I'm a hugger. But
I'm a hugger too. I know we hugged.
My family always say, "No, listen, you better stop that, Oprah." They call me Oprah because they say he's always hugging people, but I'm a hugger. And I remember that. Well, actually, I had met Jay a few years prior. When I met you, Tarrey, it was at one of the Grammy Award parties, I think it was. We didn't meet until years later. And I was like, oh, because I'd known him. So I felt like, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think it was one of the nominee parties, I think.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
So. I'm somewhat of a homebody. So I don't get out I'm not as adventurous as my partner here.
It's just not as adventurous. You know what? In this industry, though, but I can relate. I understand and I can identify because there's always so much going on in the industry. There's always something to attend, something to do, and because it seems to me like our spirits are kind of similar. We're quiet spirits. I like to be within my four walls too. That's my sanctuary. You hear me?
Yeah. You better talk about it quiet.
What?
No, quiet.
So that's
peace.
Yes. Listen, I light my candles. I put on my meditation music. What? What?
That sounds good to me.
My fur child already knows. She goes and lays on her pillow. She says, when mommy pulls it, yes, my fur baby. That's my fur daughter. Yes, my fur daughter.
What kind of fur baby is it again?
She's a Pouchon. She's a poodle and Bichon mix. But don't tell her, okay? Because she thinks she
thinks she human, though.
Yes, she does. Because it's my fault. You know I treat her like she is. Like you heard me say that's my fur daughter. You heard me. I know.
I love it.
I can't deny it. I can't deny it. People say she's spoiled. Yes, she is.
On purpose.
On purpose. You hear me? Okay, right. Neck roll and everything. What? right.
Who gonna check you?
Hello? Who gonna check me? Who? See, you see, I know we're getting all look at this. So family. Let me remind you that you've heard a lot of Jay Ivy's poetry. We featured some of his work during Poetry Month in April.
Thank you.
Let me rework my mouth. What is happening tonight? I don't know what's going on, but I want to say you too. So you say you met. Talk to me, please, about how you met and cultivated a relationship, especially working in and through this industry?
Yeah. Well, we met at the club.
Wait.
Bottles in the VIP.
I already told y'all to go out. Y'all know I don't hang out like that. Y'all already know. I told y'all at the beginning I don't do.
Oh, family, for our members who cannot see, who will be listening and not watching, if you saw the look on Tarrey's face, if you saw the look, I promise you felt it. I know you did. I know something shook. I know. But go right ahead. I'm sorry.
So it was really a jazz club.
A quiet jazz club. Very nice,
It was-
quiet,
The
classy.
club just sound more adventurous.
We met at the club popping bottles. Like, wait, what now? What?
Met at this it was a poetry night called Rituals. The club, the jazz club was called Rituals. And I used to do poetry there on Sundays.
Mhm.
And I was hosting this event. It was like the hottest poetry night in the city at the time. This is back a little while ago.
Lines around the corner.
Yeah, it was popping. And then the promoters, they decided to start comedy,
Jazz.
R&B comedy night on Thursdays.
No, yeah. It was jazz and it was jazz and comedy.
Jazz and comedy on Thursdays.
Mhm.
So they asked me to come down, and I went down back to Rituals that Thursday. And
yes, so that's what. So I just quit my job, decided to become a full-time singer that day.
Wow.
And I walked into the club and asked the band director if I could take the last song of the evening. He told me no about 10 times, and I kept asking in between, socializing. Yeah, he told me no a lot.
I didn't know that.
And I went back home and I told him, I said, I think it would be a mistake for you not to let me sing tonight. And he said, okay, you know what? You can take the last song of the night. And then I got nervous. And then I saw Jay Ivy walking past, and I touched the side of his arm and I said, hey, can you do me a favor? I've seen you around. We don't know each other, but can you sit in the front chair up front of the stage so that I can focus on you while I'm singing, because I'm very nervous. It'll be my first time singing in public as a professional singer.
Mackin.
And he said yes. He said yes. And that's how that happened. But at the end, he did try to give me his pager number. And I gave it back. Because I told him.
Wait, you can't say pager.
I told,
You're selling the
say a
age.
beeper. A beeper. And then I told him, my daddy told me don't beat no man. So I don't page men. I said, when you have a different number to share with me and you have the freedom to share it, we can speak. And that took another 6 months.
Well, that's because I was at home, my mama. And I knew if she called the house and my mama answered, I would have never known if she called. So,
true. Mama loved me as soon as she met me.
You can call
I know that's right.
Now that's true. That's true. I gave her the forewarning. We was at my house, or my mama's house, and when we got there, I said, look, when we get here, mama don't talk to nobody, so don't pay her no mind. When we got there, she wasn't home. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So me and Tarrey, we chilling, and then I don't know how long we were there. My mama walked in, and I introduced them, and to my surprise, they talked and talked and talked and talked. And they went on, and I was in shock. I was in shock.
It's about 3 hours.
I mean, she ain't talked to. I mean, I'm talking not to her. She ain't talked to my boys. She ain't talked to nobody. But they were going at it. I couldn't believe it.
She ain't met the Mississippi Chicago girl before.
Hello. That's what it was. It was a Mississippi Shy. That was what it was. That's what it was. She said 3 hours, at least 3 hours.
Yeah, they went on and on and on.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
Jay, your mother sounds like my mother. My mother, she did not play. Put it that way. My mother would say hello. And she made sure she said it in such a stern way that all you said back was hello. Like you didn't want to converse with her. So
yeah.
What? So when his mother came in, You two were introduced.
Yes.
Like, did you initiate? Did you continue the conversation, or did she start? Like, how did that manifest?
Well, I was just very polite. I just said, it's really nice to meet you. And I said, it looks like you've come in from a long day. I hope you get some rest. That was it. And she turned around and looked at me. I could tell out of my peripherals that I had gotten a side glance. And back around the corner, and she said, "What's your name?"
Oh, see, I love it. She said,
Yeah.
"Okay, that's that charm. This is a lady right here. This is a lady." So Jay, now that, that leads me to ask. Okay, so now what were you doing prior to? Look at you. See, you're out here. You bringing what's going on now? What was going on?
I was up to no good.
Yeah.
I was being a young man running these streets,
popping bottles in the club.
Being a young man. You hear that, don't you? Being a young man. That's what they call it now. That's what they call it.
Being a young man.
Okay.
Put a little respectful spin on it. But
respectfully speaking.
But your mama said, wait, she said, now this one right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know what she said to you afterward.
Man,
now, good question.
I don't remember exactly what she said that day, but I know she just loved TARREE. She said, I like her. You know, that's don't mess this up. You know, she'll say things like that, you know. And so she knew she was the one.
I love that. Mama said, okay, look, I put my stamp. Okay, don't they though?
Definitely.
They always know.
Yeah.
They can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she is your mama. I mean, she knows what's good for her baby. So
yeah. She wanted to know what I cooked, what I ate, what type of dietary habits I had. She wanted to know how much I exercised. We had to talk about vegetarianism and how good it is for our bodies and the longevity that it presents for our lives.
And the earth.
And the earth, of course. We need to know if I recycle. Because recycling.
She want
to know if I know how to make sure that there are double uses for certain products on this earth.
Yeah.
Mama was listen.
That was first day.
I'm saying when you first, you said 3 hours. You stopped me when you said 3 hours. I said, okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. She went through your entire family history after hello.
They covered a lot of ground.
But we've been like this ever since.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Well, because she already knew. And you know what? That's something with our family members. I always say those generations, their spirit radar is so much stronger than ours. Well, I think we just ignored ours because we have it. We tap into it sometimes, more than others. But for them, it was undeniable. They listened to it all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
She said, "What's your name?" She said, "I like her." That's what I know.
It was one of those. Right.
Whoa. So okay. So now after having gotten the stamp of approval from mom at hello, basically. Okay, but because that's what happened.
Oh yeah.
That's what happened. Did you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I knew it was absolutely different. Like she was like TARREE's just her energy, her presence, her love, the way she cared, the way she thought. Super intelligent, and super supportive. I remember I had this. We hadn't performed together, like, and I'm talking like we've been dating for some months, probably maybe even longer than that. And one of my buddies asked me to be on his album, so he gave me this track, and I wrote a poem for it. But I wrote this hook, and I thought the hook. I was like, oh, this hook cold. So I'm riding to TARREE house, and I didn't want to forget it, so I just kept singing it. And then when I get to our house, I'm like, man, I got this hook. I want you to sing. I'm gonna do the poem. I want you to sing this hook. And I sang it to her, and then she was like, no, you should sing that. I'm like, nah, I ain't sang since the choir. When we come this far. Leaning on the Lord, trusting in His holy name. I ain't saying since that. He hasn't failed me yet.
Yeah, listen.
No, we come this far by faith. He hasn't failed me yet. So I mean,
Now you know what I wake up to on Sunday morning.
I was cold back in my day.
Wait, because I thought he was just going to sing one line. I was like, well, we're going to get the whole song. Well, get it. Get it. Listen. Amen. Amen. Wait, I'm going to hold it because I want to come back and I want to hear more of the song. Family, if you
the camera,
I saw you lean in. I saw you said, see, this is what I deal with. I saw that. This is you said this is mine. This is mine. Family, if you had just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Stay with us, okay? Because we'll be right back.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Well, hey there. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black talk media on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. And now, if you just joined us, okay, what you've missed thus far, okay, we've been talking with none other than this beautiful power couple here, Jay Ivy and TARREY TORRAE. And a moment ago, we were met with praise and worship leader Jay Ivy. That's who we were met with. And so you missed that, okay? He was giving us a taste, of his Sunday morning praise and worship. I was loving it, but we had to go to break. So now that we've returned, where are we? Where are we? Where are we?
Hallelujah, Pastor.
That's all you got? So what was happening, family? And I'm sorry, because I caught him completely off guard. What was happening was that before the break, he was telling us a story. And he said he was so excited about this song. He had this hook, and he said it was called.
Oh, yeah.
It was called. See, I know. This is what happens with praise and worship. I know.
I was telling the story about an example of TARREY's support and just not even just support, but just innovation and looking outside of the box, because I'm in my box thinking, okay, I'm a poet and that's all I can be, and it's funny how, like, creatives, we put ourselves in boxes, or we allow other people to put us in boxes, even though when we're supposed to be the freest with it. But TARREY, I sang this hook, and I was like, hey, I want you to sing the hook, and I'm gonna do the poem, and she's like, no, you should sing it. And I tried to fight that off. I'm like, no, you the singer, I'm the poet. She's like, no, you should sing it. So we ended up doing it together, and it was our first time, like, hearing our voices together on a record, and it was incredible. And since then, I haven't been afraid to, use my one good note, because it's like I got one good one. I got one good one. It's like that note. That note.
That one good one. Wait, every time TARREY leans in, I know. Y'all, wait, I wasn't ready for this. Now, wait. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. I feel like I'm talking to the Baylors. You are, y'all. Heavens to Murgatroyd.
That's the stage left even.
He said the one good note, y'all. Did you hear it? The one good note.
It's cold. I got two. Oh, I got two. Oh, yeah, because I got the high and the low.
See, that's what you call good support. See that? You see that? She said,
right. She won up you. Yeah. Listen, wait. Like, no, babe, you got to.
You got to. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I love it. So this was your first time hearing your voices together. So now you just said to us, so now I had confidence. I knew, okay, this was something I could do. So
Yeah.
Was that the moment? Was that the moment where you said, "Look, I can't let her go. I just can't."
It was before that. It was definitely before that. We were I mean, it was just nonstop laughing, nonstop building. Like never argued. It was just always a good, pleasant, peaceful and safe time. Like I always felt safe. And that was something, that was a feeling that I hadn't felt with anybody else. And that's when I knew, like, and I mean, even to the point where, like, around this time, my father had passed, and she was the first person I went to. I went and cried on her shoulder all night. And she's been that rock for me always. She's always been that rock.
I love that. I love that. I think the thing that I love most about hearing you say that is that I don't oftentimes hear our Black men admit that, let alone publicly, but to know that you accepted that, you received, who she was to you, and you saw and identified exactly who she is and who she was to you, and accepted that. I hear it sometimes. So family, please don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I do hear it sometimes, but I don't hear it a lot. So, it always feels good to me when I do it. It feels amazing to me to see it and to hear it, and because I can feel it with the two of you. And I tell you that when I met you, Tarrey, he said, "Where's my wife? You got to meet my wife. You got to meet my wife." And I don't know where you were, Tarrey, but he was like, "Wait, where is she? Where is she? Where is she?" And it's like, okay, like we weren't going anywhere. I was like, is she coming? Is she coming?
All the time.
But I loved it. I said, this is so cute. Where is she? Where is she?
We don't find Tarrey. Where's Tarrey?
Okay. It was the cutest thing.
I thought it was just where's Waldo, but now where's Tarrey?
And you came walking up just unsuspecting, just hello. You just but it was a whole, for me, it was so cute because the whole thing. He's like, where is she? Where is she? So of course I was doing the same thing. Like, well, I gotta meet Tarrey. But I love that. So
we met.
Me too. I really am. So I want to know. It's a shame this hour goes by so quickly, and I feel like I have 1,000 questions for you all because there's just so much that I want our family members to know. I want them to know, again, who you are individually and as a couple, but I really want them to know of your accomplishments. And you too, we're talking about, some of your accomplishments, because family members, listen, they only gave you like a little bit. They didn't tell you everything. Okay. When I tell you they're a power couple, you hear me? You hear me? So tell me about, well, first, how long have you been married?
17.
Whole 17.
17 years.
Yeah, we've been together 23 years, and we been married. We jumped that broom and the stick, whatever it was.
What she said, whatever it was.
It was something. We jumped it 17 years ago.
17. Congratulations on that, first of all.
It just passed September 4th.
Oh, congrats.
Beyonce's birthday.
Oh, congrats.
Walked down the aisle to a Beyonce song. Didn't even know it was her birthday. On her birthday.
Yeah, did not know.
I just like the song.
Get out of here. See that? That's the universe. And that's nothing but the universe. Nothing but the universe. 17 years.
Yeah.
Navigating life. Okay, so what's a typical day like for the two of you, since the both of you have so many responsibilities and so much going on? What's a typical day like?
Well, before we jump to that, I wanted to say something just for the community, for the culture. I've been around good men my whole life. My brothers, my father, my uncles, my cousins. I come from a pretty large family, and just hearing Jay reflect on how we connected. The first 2 years were exactly how he described it. Maybe the first 3. No, 2. It was definitely 2. We had our first argument after that. But I just wanted to say to people and to men and to women in our community that it's okay to have a soft place to land. and that men are not always given the luxury of having that soft place to land. And so I just want to encourage us to look for those places sometimes, because the men in my family, I always want to make sure that they have somewhere soft to land. And, Jay and I are family. So for me, it ain't always, everything ain't always smooth, but there's still soft places to land. And men deserve that, but I don't know if this society has given that to them. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I didn't want us to skip over it. It was a pretty, I think that was pretty important.
No, I'm glad you did. No, thank you. Thank you. Let me take the full moment to say thank you for that, because you're absolutely right. And that's what we do here on the show. I'm so sorry that Donovan isn't here, because oh my goodness, he probably would have hugged you through the monitor. But we tease, we joke and tease a lot, he and I, but you're absolutely right. And we do like to make that known, to our family members. I did have, I grew up with a lot of uncles and cousins. There were a lot of men in my family who were, very, very strong men, but the women in my family were strong as well, as are we, but we were all soft too. So I can identify with that, with what you're saying. So I should probably have been clear saying I didn't see a lot of it outside of my family, because I want to be clear that my family is the same way, and I appreciate you for stopping us so we could take the time to make that clear. No, that was
it's just a careful what they call it, a point of engagement that we should have as a community. Don't talk about soft places, especially for the men in our culture. And I definitely know this. There are very, very, very poignant times where, as an alpha woman, I'm a very alpha centered woman. Like, I'm very strong, but it takes a double alpha man sometimes to handle a woman like me. And but I just want to say to strong women, like, it's okay to stay strong, but just know where your alpha lies. There's a match for you there. So don't give up don't dull yourself down for a man who needs to shine more. You don't dull down. You wait for the one that has the right muscle for you, mentally.
I really, oh my goodness, we need to do an entire episode on that. So serious. I mean, we talk a lot about dynamics. We talk a lot about, familial relationships, every type of relationship there is, we discuss on this show. And offline, Donovan and I talk all the time about couple, because we interview a lot of couples. We talk with a lot of couples, and we hear so many stories, varying stories of different things, but it always comes back to the same thing when we're talking with all of the couples, all of you that have been together in excess of 10 years. Both of you have found it is always the same. All of you have identified, well, this is my soft space. This is where I land. This is the person that I go to. This is who I talk to, and it's always so comforting to me to see it, to hear it, because listen, if we don't talk about it, we don't identify it, and we don't share it, then some people think it doesn't exist. Some people think that it's not supposed to exist, and there are a lot of us, a lot of women, a lot of alpha women. Like I made the point by saying that, I have a lot of strong women in my family, as am I, but we're soft as well.
Yes.
Right.
Very.
A lot of strong women don't like to be soft, don't like to, accept that we're human, that we're come on.
It's just easy. I don't have the energy to pretend, because I have days
I don't want to.
I need to slow down. But you have to have someone there that can cover you when that slowdown happens, or that will pick up some of the things you need to be done so you can remain soft. Or a strong man will soften the strongest spirit. And when you can stay strong, but you need that strength also, in addition to your strength. So you
agreed.
So they need the soft spaces, but we need them too.
There's that conversation about identifying the proper mate for you.
Come on. Come on, choir.
Listen. I'm sorry. The praise and worship director, do you have another selection for us? Listen.
This far.
The Lord, listen. Yes, we do. We trust in His holy word. Oh, okay. We could all, the whole choir could sing on that, can't we? The whole choir could sing on that. On that note, family, stay with us because we're going to take another short break. I know. We get into all this and talk.
That went quick.
It didn't it? We're going to take another short break, but we will be right back because we've got just a few more things to talk about. Okay, so stay with us because we'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the day I nearly died. I was a young journalist with a great career, starting a family. The only way we found out I had any kind of heart issue was when I went into sudden death. My coworkers sprung into action. They've recently been trained in life-saving CPR protocols developed by the American Heart Association. They're the ones that kept me alive until the medics came. They did many tests on me in the hospital after my cardiac arrest and created a treatment plan, all with research from the American Heart Association. I think unless you are a heart disease patient, you may not know how much work the American Heart Association does behind the scenes to save your life. Since my cardiac arrest, I've had 2 more children. I've watched all 3 of my children grow into adulthood. I'm going to cry now. I graduate from college. My daughter got married. I have grandchildren. And I'm still here.
Learn more about the American Heart Association's work at helpheart.org.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Everyone loves a champion, someone whose performance puts them head and shoulders above the rest. But not all champions wear a medal or hoist a trophy. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. We believe abuse can be prevented by taking a hard look at how we coach, how we train, and how we interact after the last whistle. We have provided over 2 million safe sport trainings. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. Every day he's hungry for something. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then it kind of starts to work itself out.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised in culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. So we're glad to have you. We are so glad that you've been spending some time with us, sharing your time, energy, and attention. We've been talking with Jay Ivy and his beautiful wife, TARREY TORRAE. We've been learning so many things about them. Unfortunately, there just isn't enough time to learn everything, but I want to share something with you. First of all, we're going to go back to the question that I did ask, because I just want to know what life is like in the household of you amazing, beautiful people. But I would like to share with our family members that, Jay Ivy, it is because of you that our very own John Stevens is John Legend. See, we were going to see John Stevens, okay? One of my girlfriends was in love with John. I had never heard of him. She said, "Will you go with me to see John Stevens?" I said, Who? She said, John. I didn't know who he was. You please. And she dragged me all over Philly to go see him when he was selling his CDs at the table and all. John it was so cute. John Stevens. She's like, John Stevens. Oh. And so it is you, Jay Ivy.
Yeah, it is I.
It is.
It is I. So I met John. I was doing a record with Kanye called "Never Let Me Down," which features myself and Jay-Z. And the night that I recorded the record, we just listened to it over and over again. And Kanye was he's like, "Have you heard this singer named John Stevens?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been hearing about him in New York." He was signed at Kanye as John Stevens. Mm-hmm. So he like, "Let me play your songs." Plays the song's amazing. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is beautiful." So then an hour or so later, John Stevens comes in the studio. I'm surprised. I didn't know he was there. So I said, "Man, what's up, man? I'm Jay Ivy. I heard your music." I was like, I'm a poet from Chicago. I heard your music. I said, "Play that music from the old school. Sound like that music my folks used to listen to back in the day." I was like, "Man, you sound like one of the legends." I was like, "You a legend. I said, "Matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna call you from now on. I'm gonna call you the legend." So I started calling him John the Legend. So then a couple of days later, we all in the lounge, like 10, 12 of us in the lounge, and in walks John Stevens. Everybody shout him out. And then I was like, "John Legend." And everybody looked at me and they looked back at him and said, oh man. And Kanye was the main one. He was like, "You John Legend from now on. That's it. So that's how he got the name, John Legend.
It amazes me just how things like that happen and how they stick, how they just, but I love it. I do love it, because now you heard me, John Legend. Yeah. That's what I said, how he got his name. I don't think anybody in Philly has called him John Stevens since.
Yeah, this was December 2002. So wow. Yeah, it's been a while. So and we have a record coming out Friday, Running, featuring John Legend and Slick Rick in verse. So please check it out.
Just give us the date. You can't just say Friday. You can't just say Friday.
September 23rd. Yeah.
September 23rd. Did you hear that, family? Because I want to make sure you did. Please say that again. Friday, September 23rd.
September 23rd, Running.
The record
Running will be out. It's featured on the album The Poet Who Sat by the Dough, which will be out on the 30th. So please check it out.
I love it. And Tarrey, you have a project.
Yes, I do. My album is called Catching Feelings. And Catching Feelings is it's a collection of love songs that I wrote during a period of time in my life when I felt they just poured out of me. So this is This is my contribution to the next generation of new babies. I decided that it was time for some people to make some more babies. And so we made some music to give them some theme songs to go by.
I'm not mad at it. You hear me? I cannot wait to hear. I'm not making any babies, but I cannot wait to hear.
Be careful who in the room. Just be careful.
I love it.
We talking about some lovely things.
Oh, I love it. Some grown folk stuff. It's grown folk. It's for grown folk.
It's definitely grown. It's for people with jobs and people that have careers and passions
and mortgages and responsibilities
and love their families, and they don't mind staying with one person for quite a while.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so in 2 minutes, please tell me, what is it like in your household on an average day with the two of you running everywhere?
I mean,
I wake up first.
She definitely does.
I'm up every day at about 5:30, 5:23 to be exact, because that's
she up early.
I've trained my body to be up because that's the time I was.
She up with the roosters.
I do.
But I mean, the days, like no day is typical, because I mean it'll vary from us doing interviews to us doing administrative work to us writing songs, writing poetry, to us traveling to. I was part of the film Genius this year. Been moving around a lot with that. TARREY,
I'm on tour.
Yeah, she always moving around with Rick, so it's like no days are typical.
And my own tour dates, because I did start my own tour this year, and myself and my band, my amazing band, my deeply talented, intensely talented band, we've been going from city to city, just taking our time though, because it's a super independent operation. But and also we did submit Catching Feelings for a Grammy this year. So
and
as you are creating those babies, don't. If you are a voting member of the recording, don't forget to dial my number.
I want to make sure now. I'm looking at social media handles here. I want, for our family members who are only listening and are not watching, please share that too, because we want them to know everything and how to find you, how to support, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
so your social media handles.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other typical thing. At TARREY TORRAE, as it says there on the screen. I don't know if they can't see it.
So some are listening and some are watching.
Oh, here it is. Also at TARREY TORRAE. That's at TARREY TORRAE. No space, no periods, all love.
And I'm J Ivy. That's J_IVY. The letter J_IVY.
I love
it. Yeah. Oh, there was one other thing I was going to tell you. The first thing I do in the morning, we wake up, is nutrition on the same location. But so I make sure we get smoothies or juices or anything that kind of sets the day off right nutritionally, because that's what I had promised to do to my mother-in-law.
I was about to listen. I know she holds you. I listen in the spirit. You're gonna be held to that. But so wait. So do you wake up to get your smoothie, Jay, or do you?
Oh yeah. Good morning, TARREY. Yes,
that's what it's called. Good morning, TARREY. It's a dangerous drink, though.
See what I'm saying?
This brother in Harlem taught me how to make this drink. It's pineapple, apple, orange, and red grapes, and it is the perfect wake me up for the body.
Yeah,
it's
okay, so y'all don't have to send me that. Wait, because I don't have my pen.
Pineapple, apple, orange, and red grape.
What did I do?
It gets you going.
Listen, y'all text it to me, please.
Yes, we'll text it, and we only use fruit with seeds in them. We don't go the non-GMO route. We use non-GMO.
Right.
Yep, and then we drop some chlorophyll in our water, and we off and running. And we don't share office space. Just so y'all know, we are not a typical family. We do not share office space, nor do we share computers. Nor do we share bathrooms. This is how you keep a happy marriage.
Listen, I dropped my pen. I don't know where it is, but clearly I need some info. So listen, y'all. I can't thank you enough. I could just enough for just stopping by, hanging out with us, sharing your life, sharing your time, your energy, and your attention. I really, really, really want to tell our family members so much more about you, but that just means you have to come back and visit us.
Yes,
yes.
Thanks for having us. Thank you for keeping us in your thoughts and keeping us in the planning process of how you're creating this moment for people. We appreciate
Always.
Indeed, and much love to Philadelphia.
Hey. I love Philadelphia. This is my first cousin.
Well, it's a mutual thing because I love Chi-Town. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, heavens to Troy. But on that note,
come on with it.
Emily, oh my goodness. What do we say to you is have a great night, have a great morning, and have a great rest of your day. Just you know, make sure you join us at midnight, Sunday through Thursday, for another edition of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka the Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised in culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still has to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
you ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia.